What country or what continent remain to be the biggest opportunity for e-commerce in year 2019? Yeah, and then back in this year, and 2019 is going to be their year for e-commerce. Sure.
Hello, I'm Frank Ravanelli, Italian-Canadian, working for FOREO as the head of affiliates for Asia and EMEA.
I heard that FOREO was selling one product every 3 seconds last year. Is that true or not true?
Yes, correct. Yes, correct. Last year we sold one FOREO device every 3 seconds for over 1 billion in sales.
Billion
and
in
this
sales.
Year,
wow, that is amazing. So do you mind to share with us a little bit strategy like that you have used in the past in order to achieve this kind of result?
Sure. Some strategies are company-wide, so I have to thank the rest of the colleagues for that. For example, multi-channel strategy. So FOREO is available online, on its own website, on retailers, offline, duty-free store, other major retailers, and so on. When it comes to my specific field, affiliate marketing, we used several approaches. One is to have remote teams, so it's easier to scale up talent where the affiliates are, instead of concentrating everyone in one location.
And so how do you deal with customer support, returns and payment gateway?
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. We have several e-processor integrated with FOREO.com. Of course, customers can ask for a cancellation of an order. Customer support is available in all the languages we support on the website, anything from English to traditional Chinese, simplified Chinese, Turkish, and so on. So for refunds, if they happen from an affiliate point of view, if they happen before the order is issued, then it's a no-brainer. We just refund the customer, and we, of course, avoid the transaction for the affiliate. Okay. And if it's done after the product is shipped, the customer just has to return.
So what do you prefer to connect directly with influencer or through agency?
We prefer directory. The reason is we build the relationship in that way. We do use agencies, especially when we are in a need to scale up really fast. Yeah. So if you are entering a market for the first time, we engage agencies, and usually we keep them for the influencers they brought to us. Okay. But if you are already mature in one market, it's more effective for us to engage the influencers ourselves.
So like for newcomers, what would you recommend? Do you recommend them going directly to the influencer, or do you recommend them to go to the agencies, or they even use like some services online on the middleman? Yeah.
I suggest for sure to use some platforms to do some data mining. Okay. In terms of ranking influencer by geo, by audience, and so on. Agencies, they may be really, really helpful, and they may even be a cost-effective way in terms of time to enter a market. Right. But I think it depends on the size of a brand. For example, for us, it's okay to pay for the services. If a brand is even bigger, then probably they use agencies more than they do. But if a brand is a startup, they probably need to do the work themselves, because they will not be able to cover the agency's overheads. At least that's
that's right. Yeah, amazing. Yeah. Okay, and so a lot of people, they are actually wondering, like, how does FOREO stays ahead of the market? Like competitions and everything, and especially the trending products. Like, how do you guys determine what will be the trending product next year, and how do you make sure that your competitors, they are not copying you, or they are not able to like achieve something similar as to what you guys are doing right now?
Sure. Organizational wise, we have of course people who do market analysis. Test groups and so on. However, FOREO is meant to revolutionize any sector it enters. So we never just take a product and make it a bit better, because it doesn't make sense. So FOREO releases a product only if that device is going to change the game for that specific audience. Wow. So it means that yes, there is some research, but the founder of the company, who is a designer, my take on it, I think he starts from scratch, and he designed a device without thinking what competitors are
So
doing.
it's
Because
basically
the
you
goal
guys
is
are going
not
to be the market creator instead of like following what other people are doing. That's
Exactly, yeah.
absolutely amazing. Yeah. So, and how do you test before going to the market?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. There are some panel groups, of course. There are trade shows where we can test and feel the feedback of a potential
A
multi-channel
prototype and you bring it
partners.
out to the trade shows and show it to people. Nice.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What country or what continent remain to be the biggest opportunity for e-commerce in year 2019? Yeah. And you know what has been holding them back in this year, and you know, and why is next year 2019 is going to be their year for e-commerce?
Sure. Asia as a continent, not a specific country, is still going to grow exponentially. The reason is
specific part in Asia?
I would say Asia, of course, as a whole. But I would say if I have to like point out specific markets, I would say massive. Yeah. China is still going to be the major driver, especially in the luxury industry. There are many changes in the influencer marketing landscape there, in people's consumption patterns, but still the economy is very, very vibrant. And also there are some overall geopolitical initiatives like Belt and Road initiatives, which is going to create a tunnel of opportunities across many countries. One country that is very interesting for me is Singapore, which of course the population size is somehow limited, but very, very demanding, very cutting edge, and of course Korea. Korea is the trendsetter, again talking about luxury skincare products. So I would say if you are a brand and you're not investing in China and Korea, both in terms of size, and Singapore in terms of conversion rates, you're losing out.
True, because I guess a lot of people, they will skip targeting Singapore for the reason that it's very small and they are not able to scale. But in fact, according to you, it's not right at all. It's important, right?
Of course, I mean, it needs to be prioritized versus bigger markets, but in terms of payment methods, no language barriers, it's maybe a way for brands which are not big yet in Asia to test the market before going in more specific markets. So like a test bed with good returns, even if the scale is not substantial.
Cool.
Yeah.
So next question: what are the top 3 things you look out for when it comes to hiring new affiliate managers?
Okay. I would say 1 to 1.5 years experience in e-commerce.
E-commerce.
Yeah.
Right.
So e-commerce. Yeah. So it does not need to be in our sector. It can be anything. Like they may be selling sportswear. That's okay, as long as it's affiliate marketing through e-commerce.
Okay.
We do have some team members who come from the mobile field in terms of CPI and so on. They are doing very well, but the failure rate on people who come from a CPI background to e-commerce is very high. Because when you ask people to install an app and you pay affiliates for that, versus asking people to open the wallet and fork out like $100 to $200, $300 for a quality product, it requires a very different approach to affiliates.
In other words, like you are trying to bring on guys that are focusing more on the quality side of the product instead of just one-time install, where the intent of the people, they just want to install the app. Right, okay, that's good to know.
And the other 2 points is it's more about the personal background of a person. Ideally, someone who has lived in several countries. Like it's fine if someone is expert in one country, but the mindset of a person who goes from home country to another country, then to a third country, then to a fourth country, not as a tourist, but establish himself there, build a career. That's what we need. We need people who learn fast, who are taking risks, who are accountable for it. And I would say the third quality, language skills.
Is there any specific language that you are looking at?
Okay, the working language, even if a company is Swedish, we communicate in English.
Okay.
So English needs to be like a professional level. Then one or two local languages.
Okay.
Like I would say right now for Europe we are quite well covered. North America is covered in English or Spanish. South America the same. So I would say like specific Asian languages, which may be Korean, Vietnamese, Malay, Thai, plus proficiency of English, plus the experience that I mentioned before, 1 to 1 year and a half. That's talent that is very important for us. But at the end of the day, it comes down to eagerness to learn and to test and to accept that not everything will work out, but what works out pays back for all the efforts that were done before.
Fantastic. Last questions. Okay. Where do you find the Rockstar team members? Can you talk more about remote teamwork?
Sure. Where I find them, usually I headhunt on LinkedIn. So before we posted ads, and we still post a few for my teams, but we get tons of applications and not necessarily relevant. So the new strategy, which has been going for a while, is I do the research. We have HR recruiters doing the research based on keywords in the profile. It takes more time because the candidate maybe is still happy where they're working, so they don't move on. But the ones to answer are already in line with what, are very likely to be in line with what we need. When you are remote, there is a major misconception to clarify. Some people think remote working. No, it's remote working. Like you need to motivate yourself even more. So the way we do it is we have set working hours. So it's remote working, but not when you can. We tried that, it doesn't work. It's like that's a working time that we both agree based on the market. Regional meeting twice per day for all the team members. Right. And if someone needs to be away, which is okay, like sometimes you need to be away, 2 hours to go to the dentist, or you just put it in the calendar. So basically we know when people are working and when people are not. Both are fine as long as there is transparency. And the most important thing are the KPIs. Okay. So like we have KPIs as overall affiliate marketing efforts. We have KPIs per region, we have KPIs per geo, we have KPIs per person, which are both hybrid reach and the sales. Okay. So people know what they are expected to do.
Right. That's absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's a pleasure having you today. Yeah, thank you.